Hello and welcome to the final Tinto talk, I think. I honestly think this actually might be the final one, because tomorrow, as we all know, the game is getting announced. We will finally know what its true name is. We will know with absolute certainty, in fact. And if, for example, it is revealed that the game is in fact called March of the Eagles 2, then it won't be a Tinto talk. It will be March of the Eagles 2 Dev Diary. So this is the end of an era. This is the final Tinto talk. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like they chose some really nice art for the final Tinto. I mean, he's gorgeous, right? You know, the French here getting shot at by, I assume, some version of the Holy Roman Empire. It's gorgeous. Like, this guy's falling off his horse. It's beautiful. Love it. But yeah, final Tinto talk. It has been a road. It has been a long road. We've been going for a year and about 3 months, 2-3 months. It's been a journey, and I've really enjoyed, sharing that journey with you guys, and yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed my videos on this topic as well. But yeah, tomorrow getting an announcement, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Today we are here to talk about the 60-second Tinto talk, and we're going to be having a look at a bit of warfare. Warfare, it's in every good grand strategy game, and here it is no different. So, let's have a look at some of the things related to the super secret game Project Caesar. Again, we're going to stop using that literally tomorrow. Let's do a quick start at the Teutonic Order. They currently started war, and he wants to go through a little bit of how a battle works in detail. Background information about how the country can be found in the latest Tinto flavor about the orders. Yes, we have seen that already. So, the Teutonic Order. We have who their ruler is, the Hochmeister Dietrich, their heir, their religion, their culture is Prussian, where their capital is, how many urban locations, so towns and cities that they have, their population, Black Death coming, so this is not going to stay at 1 million for very long, and also their tax base. It is quite low though, even if they have a decently sized population. So, how is that population? It may be primary culture Prussian, but the majority, or I guess the plurality, is that what it is? More than the Prussians, there are a bunch of Kashubians. There's also a bunch of Pruthenians as well as some Greater Polish, Sudovians, etc. As for religions, 30% almost is Romuva, which is the religion that Lithuania starts as. As for the breakdown of their population, majority are peasants. We've got a bunch of laborers, clerics, soldiers, and then burghers. While over 70% are Catholics, only 26% belong to our Prussian culture, so we cannot raise a large amount of levies. And considering he has 9 different provinces, it would take centuries to make them all Prussian, because of course when you use your cabinet member to culture convert, it happens on a provincial basis. You work on a single province at a time. So yeah, it would take a very long time to make them all Prussian. However, he also has other problems. He doesn't have that much control over his country, and Masuria in the southeast is particularly low. So yeah, no control whatsoever down here. Very low 20s. Yeah, it's not great. 100 being your capital. Though I will say one thing I do want them to change. 100 being pure white is a little bit too close to non-aligned. Yeah, neutral foreign countries, right? It's kind of the same color. So I do hope they change that. Some version of green, or maybe even blue, right? You know, you got your reds to oranges to yellows to greens, and then maybe have a quite light blue for the 100. That would be nice, in my opinion. Roads are too expensive during a war, but soon he will be able to build some. So here is his cabinet. At the moment, he has assimilating Upper Prussia and increasing the control in Masuria, set as what they're going to do. All his leaders have a nice plate mail uniform, probably because they're all Teutons. They're all knights of the, Teutonic Order. It's beautiful. So let's take a look at the war then. How should they handle it? They have about 100 regulars and about 3.8k levies. While they have a numerical superiority on their side, Poland and their allies have a rather large army as well. So 41,000 on the side of the Teutons. Bohemia and all of their vassals are involved in this as well. and then 38,000 for the Poland-Lithuania side. This is the war map mode, and you can see our armies in green, allied in blue, and what's not hidden by fog of war, the enemy armies in red. What I will say is, this number, I don't think this should be known. I am a fan of obfuscating information that I should not really have knowledge of. And I think this, in this case, that is knowledge that I should not have available to me. This is the kind of thing that gets hidden in the in multiplayer games if you have limited or locked ledger. And I don't really like the idea that I could just open a map mode and instantly, with big old massive font, see exactly how many troops my enemies have. I really don't like that at all. I will say it is less important than it is in EU4, because this is pure numbers, right? This gives absolutely no basis or knowledge about the quality, and we know that professional soldiers are way, way better, by about 10 to 1, apparently, than levies. So, this is worth around about, say, 5,000 professional soldiers. Not that they have 5,000, they only have 100. But in any case, I still don't like it. I kind of don't want it to be there, like, at all. I want the ability to turn this off, because, this war map mode seems really useful, right? Sometimes, like, in EU4 you'd use the diplomacy map mode, but sometimes I don't want to see allies and all that kind of stuff. I just want to see the war, and this really helps in that regard. But I just don't want to see the numbers, If you disagree with that, I would love to know why. If there is a, some people like seeing the numbers, and I guess that's fine. It's just, for me, I'd like an option to turn this off. Ideally, as we have a nice amount of manpower from all of our order commanderies in Europe, I'd like to raise some more regulars. Luckily, we have some money from the trade in our cities, even though our tax base is so weak. So he gave the order to recruit 2 more Crusader Knights, at 100 men each in Marienburg, and while he gathers his levies and regulars in Osterode, he notices the army of one of the Polish vassals, the County of Sidads, has moved across the border and started sieging our castle in Thorn. Not good. How many have we got here? 3,100 troops. I mean, they are going to get absolutely mulched by the Teutonic knights for sure. The green and red bars under the section number of regiments and men indicate how much frontage is filled, so that is this one here. Really, really wide potential frontage. So I guess let's say that's what, like a quarter. So we're looking at maybe 12 to 15,000 men would probably be enough to fill frontage. But I don't know. That seems like that's just a guess on my part. While his morale is a bit low after marching across his lands, because remember, when your armies are moving, they are losing morale. You have to, basically, if he wanted to engage this army, he would want to march to Strasbourg and de Roens. Nailed that, don't even worry about it. Then wait until the morale goes back up, because I believe it goes up every day rather than every month in EU5. So have the army wait here and then move into Thorn afterwards. He's just appointed a new general with some great stats, and he's decided to adjust his army to maximize the chances in the battle. He puts his 192 men strong noble levy cavalry on the right flank together with 1,000 feudal levies. The center gets 2,000 feudal levies, but the left flank has the 2 armored horsemen and the remaining 524 feudal levies. He has high hopes that they will engage quickly and shatter the opposition flank. By engaging quickly, that is clearly talking about the initiative that we've learned about in Dev Diary number 22. If you have a battle that starts, and maybe we'll get a war screen at some point, you don't just get everyone in the battle immediately on day one, right? Only those who roll high enough on their initiative get to join the front lines and fight, and if you're on the front lines fighting and your enemy hasn't reached the front lines yet, you're going to be doing crazy morale damage to them. Lovely stuff, though. There are some more tribesmen, footmen, and clergy levies in the reserves, but he doesn't expect much of them. The commander still needs 10 more days to give an effective bonus to the army, which he really wants, as his 84 diplomacy is another 16% to morale. Let's see, have we got... Where is the general? Have we got his stats anywhere? on these screens. Here he is, yeah. So 84 diplomacy, 98 martial skill, and then 57 administrative. We did see what all of these stats affected. However, they looked really imbalanced when we saw them back in, Dev Diary 22 or 23 or something like that. So I would have assumed that these have changed since then. So maybe we'll see what these stats are giving at some point in this Dev Diary. So this is the army. We can see where he has placed all of his infantry and his cavalry and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, it seems, I don't know. There is some reserves there. The 15 tribes are good. It's so useful. It's very useful. So he gives the order to march the army, and a few days later they reach Thorn. He has a slight edge in morale, as their commander has an even higher diplomacy than ours. Their military tactics are 118 compared to our 109, due to a stronger noble estate and privileges granted in exchange for that. We do have the edge in discipline, though, at 13% versus 2%, for which we thank the Crusader Discipline Advance and the Military Orders Estate Privilege for the clergy. So this is an advance that they must start with, because the Teutons start at war, of course. So, okay, I didn't know that there was going to be traditions that people started with. That's interesting. Or, I guess, advances. But anyway, so here we have the battle, and like I said, these are the units that have engaged the enemy, but there is no opposing army, right? So these have rolled high enough on initiative, and they're going to be doing morale damage to these sides without, any casualties on either side, is how I am understanding it, at least. So white numbers at the top of the sections are currently engaged men, while the grey at the bottom is men still not fighting. Where we got? So we got engaged 132, 50. Unengaged is the ones at the top, bottom. Okay, cool. At the first hour, our plan is to use the cavalry on the flanks, and it paid off, as they, with the slightly higher initiative, got lucky and engaged immediately. As there's no enemy engaged, they'll do morale damage to their entire opposition section. Fantastic news. So a few hours later, okay, so actually you're not doing... so you might be doing casualties, but this, this number has gone down from 1,000. This might be just morale casualties, as in, like, these guys have run away. They have started engaging on the enemy right flank, though, and those 50 men are really quickly getting absolutely mulched. Green numbers on brown at the top there is work in progress. So, yeah. Doesn't look great, especially for people with colorblindness, so hopefully that gets changed. The dice rolling system is back as well, and naturally, absolutely 100% naturally, if you are a player, you are going to roll worse than your opponent. Of course, it's guaranteed. Our left flank is not engaging fast enough, and our 50 armored horsemen are getting destroyed by the enemy levies, as they are way too outnumbered to rout 1,000 levies. In the center, the enemy have their mailed knights engaged, so this should now be interesting. So, yeah, these mailed knights, I assume this is 45 of them, they're going to get mulched because, they're completely outnumbered. So let's check the tooltip for the cavalry. 19 men remain, but they killed 42 enemies in the last hour, while losing 12 of their own. We have now rolled better, though, which is nice. We'd hoped that the rest of the cavalry had engaged at the same time, but that didn't happen. But, I mean, the rest of the guys have come in now, so we are now outnumbering them on our left flank. Actually, outnumbering them everywhere, because the full center line has now engaged, and the enemy have only got one unit. They still have 952 reserves, so this 100... guys, you're going to get absolutely mulched. Anyway, the mailed knight levies in the center shatter on our feudal levies, while our horsemen are destroyed. Luckily, they bought enough time for the rest of the flank to engage. So we have a tooltip here showing County of Sarads, their morale, our morale, how many are fighting, how many are in reserve, how many have fled. That's cool. You can also tooltip a battle widget on the map and see the morale and how many men are fighting. Quite a few hours later, fighting is still going on, and most regiments have engaged, while some of our reserves have joined our weakened flanks. We also have better dice rolls, so now it's really looking good. I mean, yeah, is this not the same? We have, like, the same screen both times. Has he accidentally posted the, I think he's posted the same image twice. think he has actually. If he has noticed that, then maybe he has changed it at some point. Nope. He just posted the same image twice. That's unfortunate. Anyway. So, the battle is now won. It's just a matter of time until the enemy collapses and flees. Next week, Pavia is back. They'll be talking about some more religions, Hinduism, Jainism, and Sikhism. Tomorrow, though, is the big day. We get the bloody announcement. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be gorgeous. I'm loving it. I'm very much looking forward to it as well, and I hope you guys are too. I will be co-streaming, as in I will be streaming this announcement. Might as well have it, show it. Why not? Yes. The Project Caesar announcement is going to be going on tomorrow. In 26 hours' time, we get to learn what the true name of this game is. Though I do find it still quite funny that this announcement is on the Europa Universalis channel. So, make of that what you will. But yes, this is going to happen tomorrow. I hope you will join me for the stream. Either that or just watch the stream here. That also works. But I will be streaming and giving thoughts and feelings and all of that kind of stuff on the stream when it is going on. So yeah, should be a good time. Get yourself notified. I will put a link to my stream because I'm going to be doing it on YouTube in the description below. Maybe I'll do a pinned comment if I remember. But yeah, what do I think of Warfare? It's still an interesting thing to me because I still think that not having 2 rows, like, this isn't the back row, right? This is not the back row, this is the reserves. And when we get cannons, which obviously we're not getting at the start of the game because, you know, no one has cannons at the start of the game. When we get cannons, they are engaging first, right? They have a phase before this where cannons shoot at cannons, and then I guess they stay there and then just get murdered by the first initiative wave of... I don't know. It's weird to me, and I'm not sure how I feel about it still. I guess what it will take is playing the game up until the age of, you know, cannon warfare and seeing how it plays out. And we'll see what happens when we get our hands on it. But yeah, I don't know how to feel about it. But other than that, I think generally, while you can dig into the nitty-gritty of why a battle is going one way or the other or whatever, generally, it's still going to be a case of, this is my army, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to ram it into your army, and I'm going to hope that I win. And I think as long as you know that you have enough quality in your army, maybe if you know that you're outnumbering your enemy enough, then the specifics on how the battle actually happens and what happens on hour-to-hour basis, for the majority of people, I don't think is going to make too much of a difference. It is simply going to be a case of, yeah, my army, your army, smash them together, and we'll go from there. Because just like in EU4, how many people truly know all of the ways that the dice rolls affect things, about how what exactly mathematically does infantry combat ability do, or infantry fire plus 0.2? Like, do you know how exactly that plays a part? Obviously, it's a good modifier to have. How good is it, and what does it do in your battle? Not many people know that, so I do think the nitty-gritty here is going to be for the turbo nerds, and I say that with love, because I love my turbo nerds, but I don't think it's going to matter too much for the majority of people. But it's cool that we're getting a little peek behind the curtain, and the fact that we're going to be able to basically say what I want on my right, center, and left flank, so I can really try and, like, min-max things if I want to. Because if I remember rightly, there is also just a button that you can do to balance your army, and it will just do this automatically. And that's probably going to be enough for most people. But yeah, it's going to be a fun time. Yeah, tomorrow, we got the announcement. I'm looking forward to that. Hope you guys are too. Until then, thanks all for watching, and yeah, toodaloo, bye bye.